So I've been playing this Pokemon ROM hack called Pokemon Emerald Rogue. I'm not one to play Pokemon ROM hacks, but I can appreciate the work that goes into it. This one piqued my interest because I like playing roguelike games. I like playing stuff like Spelunky, Slay the Spire, and I also like Pokemon mechanics. And then there's a lot of options in this one that really appealed to me. So I wanted to check it out, and I ended up being pretty addicted to it. I like all the quality of life changes. I like the modern stuff that they put into this game here. Feels like a distilled Pokemon experience if I want to go in there and try to survive this adventure, well, with using strategy and items and stuff like that, like with a random selection of Pokemon, almost like a Nuzlocke kind of thing. Because if your Pokemon dies, when they faint, they do get released, but they're not released forever. You can get them back as well. There's like a safari zone that you can go to where you can catch Pokemon that you've previously had. Here is where the game settings are, pretty in depth. There's a few different difficulties. There's easy, average, the hard, brutal. Personally, I've been doing average because it's already difficult enough for me. I figured I'd just start with that. I'm not like super hardcore where I know everything to the minutia. But also they do change some of the mechanics of like how things work, like EVs. If you know with Pokemon, like when you fight a Pokemon, you get an EV to, not like the Pokemon EV, but like the effort value EV, of course, get like points towards a stat depending on what the Pokemon is. But in this game, it's a little bit different. You only get it from trainers that you run into. So building Pokemon in a certain way is certainly a lot more difficult. Like you can't just continuously farm Magikarps in order to get its speed, EV, that kind of thing. But yeah, there's also all sorts of other settings here. Like if you want to have it to where your Pokemon will survive a hit because they like you, you can have it do that. Like you can customize the rules however you want. Like I said, I like just playing on average. Something that really appealed to me was like the ability to change it from singles to the doubles format. If you want to do both, there's an option for that as well. It's a random chance between singles and doubles. I tried that out. I didn't really like it. I do prefer like just the doubles format in general for competitive play. There's just like a lot more moves that you can take advantage of as a result with doubles, and like you can have like different synergies instead of just having one Pokemon sweep all of the other Pokemon kind of thing. So yeah, I do much prefer the doubles format. I think there maybe could be another option if the person who had created this ROM hack, or the people that work on this ROM hack, it'd be nice if it's only doubles if they have more than one Pokemon. So like early on, you'll fight a lot of trainers with a single Pokemon, and it ends up being a pretty like a stomp, right? Because you're going 2v1. But like of course, like the later fights, they're a lot more engaging once they have like a larger team. So in here, this is where Professor Elm is. He explains to you the sort of like the rules of Emerald Rogue. Basically, right now we're in like the Pokemon Hub, which I've named the P Hub because it's kind of funny calling it the P Hub. The rules of the adventure is like, hey, like whatever you have in the hub, you will have going into the adventure. So like if you have a bunch of Pokeballs and stuff like that, then you'll have like a handful of Pokeballs going into the adventure. But well, when you get stuff on that adventure and then come back from the adventure, you're not keeping any of that stuff that you found on that adventure. So they have the ball guy. Yeah, ball guys from Sword and Shield. They have him. He gives you like Pokeballs after every run, or just a Pokeball, like a different type. In here, this is like the classroom where like it goes into more of like the in-depth mechanics of this ROM hack. There's this guy who will tell you like what kind of competitive sets you can run on the Pokemon that you have with you. I currently only have this shiny Ponyta, and this is where he talks about how it's harder to get EVs and stuff like that. You can also seemingly increase IVs. There's a few different things you could do to increase that as well. Obviously, you know, you want to have your Pokemon be as strong as possible. Like for me, at the point that I'm at, I really just focus on the strategy aspect of it. So I'm not paying too much like attention to the EVs and IVs. You can just see it from the Pokemon menu as well. Like if you go into the stat screen and press like the 8 button, it'll tell you. And then this guy, he tells you, like when you go on these routes, like you have different options to pick from on the adventure. Like there's differing difficulties. You have like the tough route, the calm route, the average route, and stuff like that. And they have different types of Pokemon in them as well. I usually go for the tough route to see if I can fight more trainers. I find that getting more money from the trainers helps me out, like whenever I am able to go like stop somewhere and buy stuff. So, and also at the moment in time, I didn't necessarily really understand fully what gets transitioned into the adventure fully. I had just found out about like the sort of like the Safari Zone where you could recapture some of the Pokemon that ended up losing or releasing. Usually it's just like part of your main team at the end of the run. And I caught a bunch of the ones that, you know, I liked, and I just wanted them again, and so I could box them up. A couple of them that I have, it's like this shiny Ponyta, which I originally named Sprite because it's like yellow and green, like a lemon lime, but I switched his name to Citrus. And then there's also the Strudel, the shiny Strudel, which has been very problematic for me, but I love Grafaiai as a Pokemon. Grafaiai is kind of like a sleeper Pokemon that has like some really interesting mechanics, which unfortunately, in what I've experienced so far in this ROM hack, it is, you know, still a ROM hack that, you know, had to be programmed with new stuff retrofitted into something that's technically, you know, a third generation game, where it doesn't have Doodle, it doesn't have stuff like that. So I've run into a bug where it just basically stops my, or puts my game into like a sort of soft lock situation due to the programming. But anyway, I've unfortunately expended a lot of my Pokeballs at that Safari Zone because I was like, oh yeah, I get to get all my dudes back. You know, my homies that I went on an adventure with, I want them back, right? But now I don't have that many Pokeballs going into the adventures. I only have like 3. Which thankfully I didn't spend all my Pokeballs. That would super suck if I couldn't like capture anything in the first part of the route. Like having a decent sized team is pretty important at the beginning here. Now, I do also have sort of upgrade where it lets you pick from random Pokemon here. Like you could pick your starter. I think we're gonna go with Noibat here. I just really like its evolution Noivern a lot, even though it does evolve quite late, being a dragon, so it's going to be really hard in the very beginning. But what's even harder is nicknaming a Pokemon. I just have this thing where I have to nickname every Pokemon. The whole Safari system where you can capture that Pokemon again even after you release it, you actually see their nickname still once you capture them again. It's kind of cool.
A few moments later.
So anyway, here we have a few different routes. This one we're gonna go with one of the tough routes, and in our path here is a trainer immediately. So I picked a dragon flying Pokemon, which the first trainer that we absolutely cannot avoid has a ice type Pokemon, and it's already very difficult. This is already off to a terrible start. It's doing super effective damage to me. Thankfully, it's only level 2. I'm trying to cheese it with Supersonic here. Hopefully, I can get it to hit itself. Oh, nope, of course not. It's just gonna hit me with more powdered snow. Thankfully, I have potions to start out with, keeping myself alive. Hoping for another confusion. Nope, no go. It's not happening. This is not looking good. Of course, like, it's a trainer Pokemon, I can't just capture it. But it's cool to see all these like newer Pokemon that don't have a Gen 3 sprite, or even like a Gen 4, Gen 5 sprite. And then like somebody had to have made all these sprites, right, to work for this like older game, because that Pokemon has only ever been like a 3D model outside of the menus. So pretty cool. But yeah, we managed to get past that battle, thankfully. And hey, even better, we got some Pokeballs, because like I said, I had used up all my Pokeballs, and so having some Pokeballs to capture some of the stuff here that have like a decent team, it's gonna be good. Here we're running into Comfey. This Pokemon I'm not like super wild about. It's it's like a lay, right? It's one of those Pokemon that it's the thing, right? Like Klefki, it's like a bunch of keys. I'm not like super wild about it, but we gotta have something. And I would say it's like a good compliment to like Noibat here, who's like very fragile and is a dragon flying kind of Pokemon.
1 hour later.
And here I'm like trying to cheese everything with double team, like but then I realized like there's like low level Pokemon, you can just catch them with like a Pokeball. I don't need to bother like dodging it and cheesing it and stuff like that. So we're gonna name this Sandshrew Dylan. I actually named previous Sandshrew Dylan, so that one's just like, that's just another one. On the route you can find a bunch of different items and stuff like that. So here we're picking up some items. It's Health Feather, some stat boosting abilities, Clever Feather. That's gonna help just out just a tiny bit. At this point, like, we don't really need to like fight or catch more Pokemon. We should fight this guy here, however, because like just in general, like fighting trainers, that's how you get money in this game. This guy is funnily like walking back and forth, pacing in front of an item. I tried to get past him, but he's just too quick with it. Yep. And then when you fight stuff in this game, especially with EXP share turned on, it's actually recommended that you play with the EXP share on, just because of how they design the level structure in this. Each part of the adventure, they have a level cap. So like for this first part, the level cap is level 15. So like once you like get to the gym leader at the end, you are on equal footing. You are level 15 versus level 15, ideally. If you don't end up like fighting stuff or trainers on the way to the gym leader, they do have something that will help you out to get it to be like matching levels. This looks like it's the exit here, so let's go around and grab all the items first before leaving. And then, yeah, here we go. We're leaving, and now we have a few more options here. Like, we're only allowed to go on the path here. So there's a few different options for different routes. But we're going to go with the game one. And there's a couple different things that you could do for the game show. And since it's like the first time that you guys are seeing it, I have it go through like the tutorial here on what it's about. So this time around, it's going to be who's that Pokemon. They give you a silhouette of a Pokemon, and you just tell him, hey, what that Pokemon is. There's 4 options here, but as you go up in levels here, it will have even more options to choose from. The other sort of like game show that I've seen is trying to figure out what the Pokemon is based on their cry, which that's a lot more difficult for me. I haven't been able to do more than just 2 for that one. And I'm just guessing a lot. But like seeing the silhouette, seeing the sprite, this is pretty easy. So like it's easier for me to just like go through it all and get whatever highest tier reward. And some of these suck, like escape rope. Like why would I want escape rope? So like it seems like it's not in it doesn't determine like the farther you in at your end, it doesn't determine how good the item is. So like those heavy bolts, maybe some that would have been useful. Let's see here. I can upgrade my stuff to 3 irons. Like I probably should have kept the heavy stuff, but for the purpose of this, I figured I'd just like do it all. And I think I do get a quest completed as a result of finishing all of them. So, and quests are something that you can do for sort of like a meta progression kind of thing in this game. So like you'll have different objectives that it wants you to complete on your adventure. Like have your starter Pokemon survive for so many gym leaders, and you get money, and you get some other goodies for it as a result of completing that quest. Which I probably should have went over the quest menu. It looks like it's straight taken out of Legends Arceus, with like the Hisui like journal looking thing. You can go over the different quests that they have available. You can pin which ones that like you want to pay most attention to see if like you can actually obtain it, stuff like that. So like it'll tell you if you failed it. Like say if like your starter Pokemon died as a result of like fighting a gym leader, it'll tell you, hey, that's no go. So right now we're about to run into Silver. I'm not sure what determines when you fight Silver. It does seem like he shows up at like certain intervals. He's a pretty tough cookie here, so I'm trying to prepare here. I'm putting all these like stat boosting items. I just got those irons, so let's get our defensive Pokemon even more defensive. So the feathers, just try to get people as strong as they possibly can. And with the way that items work in this game, where they just disappear at the end of your run, something that my buddy Rick has been saying for years is that smoke them if you got them. These items are meant to be used during your run, and once that run's over, you can't use it, so you might as well. And so here we're fighting Silver. He has a Delibird and a Nose Pass. Okay, currently my Noibat still kind of sucks, but at least he does have some super effective damage against Nose Pass. And our Sandshrew can do like some rock damage with rollout here. It's not the Absorb doesn't do too much. It is like a very weak attack. It does heal back a tiny bit. The rollout did quite a bit. We're paralyzed now, with a high chance of not doing anything. So I could either miss my rollout or, get paralyzed and not move. Still, we're chipping away at the nose pass with the absorb. Gonna use Thunder Wave on my Noibat. Both of my homies are slow as balls. But we're still rolling. Still rolling. Managed to take out his Delibird. Now we're gonna cheese with Double Team, because I don't want this flying Pokemon getting hit by rocks. But for whatever reason, he's targeting with Sandshrew. And then rollouts, since it's been a couple turns now, it's doing quite a bit of damage. Oh, okay, alright, we're living. That Double Team did nothing for that Noibat. No cheese there, but hey, rollout's gonna finish off Nose Pass. Okay, cool. Well, and then so we've taken down Silver. I do have like my main character as Gold. I don't know if that does determine whether or not it's Silver as your rival. But it also could just be like he could just be like the overarching like villain. Now, like part of this part, we have a few different options here. We're just gonna go with the top one. This is gonna be the daycare one. Here's an item courier. So like if you go to this guy, you like, hey, I want to buy this thing, and he's gonna bring it to you later if you go to the daycare again. Thankfully, he has garbage. He has nothing that's useful for us, even later, like Palkia or Dialga stuff or whatever. Yeah, we don't. I've never even seen those Pokemon, so like I wouldn't need it. This like store lady, I don't know what to call her. Store lady. She has random stuff, Pokeblocks that will like sort of influence like what you get in the routes. There is also this daycare lady, which I have my Strudel, my shiny Strudel in the daycare. We're gonna take it out. That might be a huge mistake, but we're gonna bring him out because I just like that like Grafaiai. Now we're gonna head into the gym here. We're gonna fight Whitney, and I neglected to show off what the deal is with those NPCs at the beginning there, but like you can heal for free once, and then you have to pay for it afterwards. There's the NPC on the left that brings your levels on par with what the level cap is, essentially. And then there's that sign that will tell you, like, ahead of time, like, hey, this is what this gym leader is, like, typing-wise and stuff like that. So, like, going into this battle, I wasn't sure what I was running into. Really, it's not too bad, because it's like, this is still the beginning part. Noibat, starter Pokemon so far, not doing so great. Again, I'm realizing, man, maybe I should pick up a Dragon Pokemon a little bit later, where they, you know, actually evolve and stuff like that, and are a little bit more useful. This Noibat's not particularly useful, but we're gonna put Noibat up, swap him with Comfey, which I've nicknamed Faith. And then, since they're both low and Powder Snow does target multiple Pokemon, let's try to knock out Minccino, as well as do some damage to Meowth. Okay. Of course, Minccino lives, because, you know, Powder Snow is a special attack, and my Dylan is more, like, physical attack oriented. But we're gonna try it one more time. Oh yeah, but also like with this ROM hack, they do make changes to have like those modern systems, like the physical special split. So like, that is something that we had to factor in here. I do very much prefer the way that it is now in terms of mechanics. So having it be like the 3rd gen mechanics it wouldn't make any sense to me. And now. So we have our Comfey. We're gonna try some charm action here, I guess. I guess like I'm not too sure what I can do with Comfey just yet. But charm lowers that attack. And let's soften the damage here. Meowth, really like there's not much to worry about from Meowth because he has like Payday and that Scratch. Just like there's just stuff that's not very effective. So, but yeah, these normal types, with it being Whitney, there's not much to worry about here. They're not gonna like blast through my Pokemon that I have right now. Noibat being like the most fragile thing is tucked away, safe and sound. Strudel is gonna need some time to cook a little bit. So I only have it here because it's shiny. But yeah, Dylan, we're rapid spinning, getting really fast, clearing out any arena trap stuff. Well, not arena traps, but like stage hazards, whatever it is, whatever it's called, I forget. Of course, that's like those are physical damages. We're gonna rely on rollout now. You know, even though it's a chance to miss, even though it did almost 0 damage to that Ipon. Just to be funny, I'm gonna use Helping Hand on this on Dylan, who's gonna roll out, and of course it missed. Of course it missed. So the Ipon lives yet another turn. Even though it has 1 HP, even though it could have done anything else, but you know. Alright, we're gonna believe in this rollout though. Even though it has a chance to miss. Yeah! Alright, we got it. We got that rollout. So yeah, we beat Whitney. Got some money for it. And you get the first gym badge. And then that's it for the first part. Like there's still more to it. Like there's more gym leaders that you have to get through. There's more like routes that you had to go through as well, but that's it for this video. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, maybe even comment. I did put a lot of effort into this video for no reason at all. There is the rest of this recording that I do want to do commentary on. I might not have the time to do it, but it is kind of funny, so hopefully I can get to it. And the feedback on this video will help out a lot, honestly.